Before starting off proceedings, we would like to thank the Department of Computer Science of the Faculty of Science of University of Ruhuna, headed by Dr. J.A. Jeevani, for being our pillar of strength throughout all the projects our community has done so far. So let's start off by listening to the message which our head of the department sent us.
Good afternoon, and I welcome all of you for this technical session Tech Hall. The Department of Computer Science of University of Ruhuna and the student community of Bachelor of Computer Science are carrying out series of events beyond the lecture theatres to enhance the knowledge and to get familiarized the students with the outside world, industries, and technologies. This is one such event, and at the current situation of the world, the organizing committee arranged it on digital platform. So I would like to welcome all the resource personnel for this event, especially Sujitharan Chinnadurai, Cloud Solution Architect at Microsoft, Prabhat Mana Peruma, Partner Technology Strategist at Microsoft Sri Lanka, and all the students and organizing committee members as well. And I thank and appreciate the effort taken by the organizing committee for arranging this event. Hope you all will get very good chance to explore the new technologies and have a fruitful session. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Hiranta Peris from Computer Science student community of University of Ruhuna, and I'm also a student, Microsoft student partner in Sri Lanka. At the moment, I need to remind Microsoft student partner community for facilitating us with this meeting, and also we are having MSPs from Sri Lanka and also from other countries, and thank you for joining us. Also, need to remind you that you can follow MSP Sri Lanka Twitter from our Twitter handle MSP Sri Lanka, and where you can get more and more news from about the student partner program. And also, not forget, Sajay and Prabhata, thank you for joining us today. And back to you, Adi.
Okay, thank you, Hiranta. So let's now start proceedings. As you know, we'll be covering two topics during this session. The first session will be done by Mr. Sajidharan Sinadurai, Cloud Solution Architect and MVP at Microsoft. He'll be doing about getting started with Angular. And the second topic would be increase university productivity with Office 365. And it will be done by Mr. Prabhat Manam Peruma, Partner Technology Strategist at Microsoft Sri Lanka. So just before handing over the session to Mr. Sajidharan, I would like to remind you all just one more thing. We have launched a selfie campaign, and you can just take your phone and take a selfie of you watching this session and post it on Facebook with our hashtags, hashtag articulate and hashtag RUHCS. So please feel free to do it on Facebook and also maybe on Twitter. So having reminded that, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Sajidharan. The session is over to you.
Hi everyone, hope you can see the screen. I just wanted to confirm if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank the opportunity for giving me the opportunity for the students of computer science student community from the University of Ruhuna, and I will take 2 minutes to take a selfie and upload my picture after this session. But I'm very much excited to be here and present on Angular. It's been a while since I presented something to the community, and especially on Angular. Hope everyone is doing safe and well during this time. And before we start, just to set up the context, this is a level 100 introduction to Angular, and those who are expecting any higher level deep knowledge on Angular, this won't be the session, because I will be doing a very basic introduction to this in this particular session, right? All right, let's get started with the session. As usually, I will take 2 minutes to market myself. So web development is my passion and cloud is my profession. So I work as a cloud solution architect at Microsoft, basically to help the ISVs, independent software vendors in Sri Lanka and other regions to build solutions on Microsoft Azure. Apart from that, whenever I get time, I develop solutions for industry-based applications as well as to contribute to open source. And also I'm a GDE, former MVP. I'm not a current MVP, but a former MVP, and then Microsoft certified professional. And also I contribute to Stack Overflow, and I'm the top contributor from Sri Lanka. And apart from the right side, you can see some of the communities that I run. So we started with NG Sri Lanka last year, and probably we will be continuing this year also. So if you had a chance to contribute in some way, you can join our community. And second one is Stack Overflow Sri Lanka. If you have seen Facebook in the recent times, we have been sharing a lot of memes. So that is coming from Stack Overflow Sri Lanka community. This is just to help developers to show the trend, what is happening around the world, and what are the problems that we have in the community right now, and how we can help each other, right? And if you want to reach out to me in any way, you can reach out to me in GitHub or Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter and Stack Overflow, so you can reach out to me at any time. And some of the recognitions, which I don't have to tell, I think it is everywhere shown in my profile, and if you go. So that's a brief introduction. Let me dive into the session. Before we start, I know most of you are from the university and most of you are students. Let's play a game, right? Just to understand the level of knowledge that you have on Angular. So you can navigate to this particular URL. If you have mobile, you can navigate to kahoot.it. That is what I have displayed here. Just take out your mobile, and or if you are in computer, you can just join using this particular link. And the pin number is as I have provided. So once you start joining, if you have around 20 players, we will start the game, just to get your knowledge and the level that you have on Angular, right? Just to understand. So you can navigate to kahoot.it and then enter. I don't see anyone joining. If you guys use mobile, just you can navigate through the mobile and then join. Okay, there is one player, two. If we have 10 players, I will start the game, because otherwise it will delay the session, the further session, right? So there are 3 players, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8. We have 10 players. I hope we can start the game. Those who couldn't join, probably you can check out this later. So let's start with the first question. What do you know about Angular? So which statement is true here, right? So it's a cloud platform, it's a front-end framework, or it's same as AngularJS, or who cares about it, right? So you can choose the right answer, and we will see how many of you have answered it correctly. So there are 9 who have answered it correctly. I hope you at least got to know about Angular. So there is Achu who is leading now. And we'll go to the next question. So Angular releases major version what is the frequency that they release every new version? So if you have seen, Angular 9 was released before a month. So if you have get to know of what are the releases, probably you would know the answer. Oh, I see 7 right answers. Okay. Gima is leading right now. And we'll move to the next question. What is the latest version of Angular? So I mentioned last month they released the latest version. So what is the version of the Angular which was released last month? It's a very easy one, I guess. There are 14 who has given the right answers. So still Gima is leading. So it's a very simple question. Angular is only the front-end framework available out there. So if you're used to other frameworks, you can obviously give the false. But if you feel that this is the only framework, you can give option as true. These are very basic questions just to see your knowledge level on Angular, right? So there are 19 who have given the right answer as expected. Still, I think Gima is leading. Final question for this session. So a component in Angular is consist of what? It's a JSP file, TypeScript file, and a HTML file, or it's a CSS or JS file and a HTML, or TypeScript, HTML, and CSS, or jQuery, CSS, and HTML. So this answer you would know if you have worked only with, I mean, if you have worked in a couple of applications or if you have started with Angular. So as I expected, there are only 9 who have given answers. So let's see who the winner is. GS, I don't know who full name of, okay, he's in the third position, and then SKD, and the first place goes to, I guess it's Ima. Okay. So if you get a chance to meet me in the coming months, you can probably grab a Angular badge or a t-shirt, right? So I will directly jump into the slides. So as I see, most of you have basic understanding of what is Angular. So probably this will be a session where you can make utilize to get started with Angular, right? So let me start with a small story, history of web application. So when I was in A-levels, so I was asked to build a website for a competition, and it took nearly 20 days to build that particular application. So it was for a competition, and I have to build an application that shows images of world wonders, right? So I spent nearly 3 weeks to build that application, and I had to spend so much time, so nearly 20 days. But if you see, if someone asks you to build the same application, you can just build that in 2 minutes. And that's what we are going to see today. So we can no longer ask for a, if you're using jQuery, if you're using any other AngularJS, so all those frameworks that comes with single file, and you will make utilize to build those capabilities around that particular file, right? But in case of modern frameworks, that's not only the solution that you are solving, but you are talking about different whole ecosystem, how it should make the developers to build application quickly, and it should have all the features, starting with mobile, starting with how would you scale your application in order to cater so much audience. So those are the things that you need to consider when you are building applications. So this example that you can consider, those days we used to have a phone just to make calls, right? But if you take in the recent times, we have iPhone 11 that is coming up, and it has so many features. So all these smartphones, right? You can start application like TikTok to make your videos and end up with something like Twitter to publish or live stream the content, whatever you are providing to the community. So all these features are embedded within smartphone. And that's how the modern way of application frameworks have grown in the recent times. So Angular, how Angular came into the world, I wanted to give a heads up on how it happened. So when I started, we had jQuery. So when you build applications with jQuery, the code become very spaghetic and cluttered, so that you can't manage with so many developers. Then there are a lot of frameworks who came into the market, right? So we have Knockout, which provides a way to build your application in a structured way, and then we had Ember.js, which is also one of the trending framework when I started my web development as a profession. But in 2009, Google introduced this framework called AngularJS. So that's how I started my journey with AngularJS. But that is depreciated in the recent, I think, with the release version of Angular 9. So I will come to that point, what is AngularJS and Angular. But just to give a understanding on what are the frameworks available and how Angular came into the world. So Angular was introduced in 2014, which was released as the beta version with so many features that is differentiated from the AngularJS version, if you're familiar. So when it comes to the speed and performance of the application that you are building, and then how you can modularize your application, and also how you would cater your application to support cross platforms, right? It start with web, mobile, desktop, and things like that. And then how you can build single page applications. So those who are wondering about single page, most of us are familiar with Facebook, right? So if you navigate to Facebook and if you go to some other different profiles, you don't see the navigation. It just viewed in a single page, and you seamlessly navigate through different pages. So all the pages that you want to navigate are loaded in the beginning, and you would be able to navigate without any URL redirection. That is called single page application. So Angular was introduced in 2014, and we have so many versions that are coming out with different features. And we have latest version Angular 9, right? Which has so many developers who are supporting. I wanted to ask this question to you guys. What does that figure represent? Since we don't have the chat feature available, I will tell the answer to you. It's the number of stars that Angular repository has right now, right? And we have so many contributors across the world who are contributing this Angular repository every day. So if you see this diagram, I mean, this GIF interprets how Angular and frameworks like React, Vue overtook other frameworks, and how it helping the developers in order to build your application quicker and faster. Yes, if you ask me why Angular, so if you are a hero, you should start developing with Angular, and probably you will start developing applications with Angular after this session, because it's not just a framework, right? It provides a whole ecosystem, we will see in the next slides, to build applications and make it scalable. I have been an AngularJS developer for 4 years and then moved into Angular developer till now, even though I don't have much hands-on these days. But whenever I get time, I used to explore features with Angular, whatever the released features, right? And the transition and the learning curve is something that you would see a huge difference from other frameworks, because you have to invest much time to get started with Angular. But once you get in touch with Angular, it's really challenging and interesting to build features around it. So you can build any features, even building complex applications like Teams. So Teams in the backend, we are using Angular, and then so many Microsoft applications are using Angular within our Microsoft company itself, and Google is using. So we will see the details in the next slide. Let me go to. So what Angular as a framework provides, so it gives all the batteries. So whatever you need to build your application in quick time. So starting with HTTP client, in order to make HTTP calls, whether it could be post request or REST. I mean, if you're communicating with any REST APIs to get some details, so to do some CRUD operations. And then we have something called routing, which I talked about, right? Single page applications. So the routing can be enabled with this particular module called routing, and then you will be able to configure particular components. We will see what is component, but just to give an idea. So if you want to navigate to home page, what is the component that you need to show up? And if you want to navigate to contacts page, what is the component that you need to show? So these can be configured using the routing, and it provides so many other libraries, right? So if you want to style your applications, you can use material design. And if you want to build forms for any of the applications which can be deployed in enterprise applications as well as small applications, starting with reactive forms, and then we have template driven forms. And we recently introduced in the few versions that released before year, something called server side rendering. So if you feel that your data, if you are handling a lot of data that needs to communicate with the backend and fetch those data, you can render the data at the backend and then present the view to your customer or whoever accessing that particular application on the mobile or any device. And when you consider Angular as a core, there are so many features that is provided, starting with component system and then data binding. So if you want to bind your data on the front end, you don't have to, do the way access the element using some code and then bind the data. It provides a simple way to do the two-way data binding, which we will see in the next slide. And then starting with unit testing, you can integrate with any of the unit testing frameworks, starting with Karma and things like that. So it provides a whole ecosystem to build your applications quickly and faster, right? Something like dependency injection, which is a core component or core thing that you need to know if you're building application, which I will be explaining in the coming slide. So this is like the whole Angular as a framework. What are the features it provides? And if I go to Angular as a platform, this is something interesting for the developers who want to start with Angular, right? So we are providing the developer tools starting with Angular CLI. So Angular CLI is something like, if you're familiar with Node, you are using NPM, which provides a lot of packages to build your whatever the applications with any of the JavaScript backend language, right? The same way, Angular provides simple commands to create your components and whatever the things that are included within Angular application. And then when you take Angular mobile, so you can build native applications using native script, and then you can utilize Ionic to build hybrid applications which supports iOS as well as Android. And then we have something called progressive web applications, which is very recently it is trending among developers. So if you feel that if you want to access your mobile offline, then you can go for something called Service Worker, and you can build your applications which are called the progressive web application. And then when it comes to tools, there is something called StackBlitz. So if you want to spin up Angular environment, and if you want to build a demo application, you can start with StackBlitz. And CodeLyzer is something that if you want to do some static analysis on your coding, and we are providing schematics if you want to build your components, so that if you want to build your components across multiple developers, so that developers can take the schematic and repeat across their team, so that they don't have to spend much time. And there are language services which provides all those translation APIs so that you can translate anything on the fly. And we recently released Ivy engine, which is for the rendering purpose with the Angular 9 version. That is pretty challenging and interesting because the features are a lot. So I will be coming to that point, because it reduces the bundle size by 30 to 40% from the previous versions of Angular. So if you're wondering what is bundle, so once you build the application, once you build your JS file, there's a minified file generated that compiles all your features as a single file, and then you will be deploying that to any of the environment that users want to access. So it reduces the bundle size to 30 to 40%. And if you know, Angular is built on TypeScript, so all the TypeScript features which are available with 3.7 version, it's available with Ivy as well, which is providing so many features such as, you know, optional chaining syntax and things like that. And if you are a developer, because I have spent a lot of time in debugging Angular application, where does the error come from when I started with Angular, but with Ivy, you can just click on where the error occurs, and then you will be able to see you will be able to attach the debug point and then be able to debug particular issue that you're facing. So that's as a platform. And when you see as ecosystem, this is very interesting, and Angular is the only community that provides, right? So one of the core strength of Angular is the community. So it comprises of core team, Angular core team, and we have GDEs. There are around 100 GDs across the world, and those who are a part of the Angular team who provides the feedback to the team, what are the features that we can improve, what are the things that we can add on. So as you can see in the graph, it has been increasing a lot in the recent times, and we have over 5 million of developers who are supporting this ecosystem, right? And as I mentioned, 80 products of Google uses Angular. I think out of 80 products, 30% uses Angular, and some of the Microsoft products also we use Angular to build those inbuilt applications. And if you wonder, we have around 800 plus meetups that are happening around the world, and there are around 25 worldwide conferences. So as I mentioned, NG Sri Lanka is one of the conferences that you can consider. So back to the concept, what is Angular? Was Angular 1.x. So Angular 1.x has been re-implemented. It's not this has been a misconception among many developers who are thinking AngularJS and Angular is still the same. I just want to pinpoint that those two are different frameworks that you may call. So these are some of the features that are completely rewritten when you consider from AngularJS to Angular, and it provides 11x performance better than what we had in AngularJS, right? So if you're familiar with AngularJS, we had something called ng model, ng app, ng controller. Those were completely removed and those were replaced with components. So Angular is all about components based UI. So whatever the things that you have in mind, you have to imagine as a component. So if you are building a web application with, home page, contact page, as well as, get help page, then you need to consider each of those as components. That's the overall idea that I wanted to give. And when you consider what is Angular is written on top of, it's the TypeScript. As I mentioned, TypeScript was introduced by Microsoft. And if you wonder why TypeScript, it's a way of having well-structured code, right? And documented code. So if you guys are familiar with WOP concept, object-oriented programming, it's not a new language. So it just interpreted JavaScript that is mostly about type checking. So when you commit something to, when you want to commit something, you have to make sure that it is production ready. So it provides a static analysis of that particular code, and it makes sure that you are coding in a very well documented way. And then Ivy comes with the version 3.7 support. So you can use all the features that you are developing with JavaScript and TypeScript can be done on Angular. And if you're wondering what are the advantages when you go with TypeScript, so programs are less prone to errors. So you will have less number of errors because your code is already checked in a manner that you are writing well documented code, right? And it provides a if you have seen that text editors provide the autocomplete so that you can quickly do something you want to do. And then refactor and navigation to definition, these are some of the features that we have with VS Code that you can explore, and these types are optional, so you can disable if they want by using any. And then your code is compiled into JS as well as TS when you execute an Angular application. So this can be configured using the TS config file if you want to make some few changes to the Angular application. That's the overall introduction. Let me go to Angular CLI. So I talked about Angular as a platform. So Angular CLI provides a way to initialize, develop, or scaffold your Angular application. So it's a command line interface that makes the developer's life easy to get started with Angular. It's so easy to configure, and you can simply get started, right? So there are a number of commands available. You can see by exploring, which I don't have to tell right now. All right. I think I have 10 more minutes, so I will quickly, if I don't have, I think I have a few more slides, so I have to explain the concepts, right? So what are the building blocks of Angular? So this example you can take in order to remember what are the core concepts. I have made a spelling mistake purposely, but you can read it easily, right? So Maithripala Sirisena's daughter is a Microsoft certified professional developer. So you can take the keywords of those each, keywords that are present. So you can take MSD, So these are the key components that you can take in Angular, which comprises of module, which we will see, and then component, pipes, directives, services, and then dependency injection. So if someone asks what are the key components or the building blocks of Angular, this is a key question in most of the interviews that you would come across. So it's easy to remember as well. So you can make a note of this particular. I want to point that at least if you don't understand anything from this session, make sure that you remember this particular sentence. All right, let's go into detail. If you take any of the Angular application, this is how it's going to look like when you are generating, right? So you will have an application structure that comprises of, module, and then it will comprises of configurations. And then you have something called Angular Bootstrap. So when you take the application structure, this is where all your components and the, the services and the pipes that comes belongs to. And then there's something called Angular Bootstrap. This is called the starting point of the application. So whenever you spin up an Angular application, it is going to call this main TS and then execute the index file that can be seen in your browser. And then we have configuration where you can provide, a lot of configurations, which makes the developers to build things quickly. And how this magic happens. So when you execute Angular code, this is how the flow. So if you have seen, this is replaced with Angular JSON. It was called as Angular CLI JSON in the earlier versions, but it starts with Angular JSON file, and then it bootstraps those modules, starting with the root module, and then it executes the app module, which is considered to be the main core module of your application, and then it starts executing the starting component, which is the app component that can be seen, that can be rendered in the index file. So this is the overall flow that you would come across any Angular application that you are spinning up. So NG model, I talked about data binding, but this is one of the important concepts that if you're building any applications that you want to build in your final year projects as well as industry-based applications. So data binding is something that you want to bind the data back to the view. So Angular provides a way to support two-way data binding. So you don't have to make changes to your model in order to and as well as view in order to make those changes reflected. When whatever the changes that you do on the model or the view will get reflected on the view and as well as model. So so you don't have to do any manipulation in order to make those in workplace. So this is always built in, so you don't have to spend much time. But there are ways to implement using reactive forms that we will see in a deep level discussion. So if you take any Angular application, this is how the structure or the modules look like. So you will have a main module that would comprises of all these pipes, services, and then components, and then you will have different module that does some other services, right? So I'm hearing sound. Do we have time? Or okay, I will continue. So if you see, this is the structure of Angular. So you will have a module and whatever the component that you have, and other modules that would come into place. And then directives is something that you can take an example. So if you want to repeat some elements in your rendering part, or if you want to style your elements, then you can make use of directives. So there are two types of directives. One is called the attribute directives, and the other one is called the structural. So attribute is something that if you want to make some manipulation to your data, then you can use that. And structural directives is something that if you want to render something based on some conditions, then you can use the structural directives. And then pipes is a very cool concept. So if you want to modify something that can be rendered that you want to render on the view, then you can manipulate using, say, if you want to represent a number in thousands format, then you can use a pipe. And if you want to represent a date in some particular format, then you can use a pipe. That is another example. And services is a very important concept. So if you want to communicate between two components, say if you have a home component and you have a contact component, and if you want to pull some data from home to contact component, then you can use services. So there are different mechanisms available on how to pass your data, but we will discuss that in coming session. So I just want to put all these things together just to make sure you understand. So imagine Sri Lanka as a country. So you can consider that as an Angular application, and we have so many different provinces, right? So starting with you can take Western province, and then Eastern province. So those can be considered as modules, and each of those modules will have components. So you can take Colombo as a component, and then my home town Jaffna as a component. So these can be considered as a component, and then you will have services. So you can take bus service or train that connects each of those cities. So as in order to communicate, you can take that as example. And then pipes can be considered as those buildings, that beautiful building that we have. You can take Nelumpokana building or BMCH building that gives an attractive view to the users, right? And and then dependency injection would be the politicians who is providing those connecting everything together in order to provide service to the community. So that is just an overall view on how Angular and the concepts works in Angular. So this has been confusing among a lot of developers. We have a lot of frameworks out there, starting with Vue, React, and then Angular. So if you ask me which one to choose when, this would be my answer. So Angular uses TypeScript, and it provides a way to structure your code that can be scalable, right? So if you want to build your application, which is very large, and if you want to scale across different teams, then I think if you want to have a structured way, you need to go ahead with Angular. And if you feel that developers coming from different backgrounds who have different views on how to code, how to implement features, then you have to go for, I think, React, because it provides a flexibility among your developers in order to build the application. And then Vue, it's simple. I mean, if you want to get started Vue, because the learning curve is very easy, and if you're building any application that deals with data, and if you want to build some cool dashboards, it's very easy to integrate. I have started exploring Vue in the recent months, and I like it. Yes, this is kind of overall thing that I wanted to discuss about Angular. But if I go to the demo, if you have laptop, you can also start building Angular application with me. So first of all, you need to have the providing environment. You need to start. Hello. So you need to download the Node.js in order to install, and then you can start with npm install whatever the command. You need to install the Angular CLI latest version. Since we don't have time, what I'm going to do is I am going to copy paste that particular command. I have already installed, so I don't have to spend much time. But if you want to start, you can start with that, right? So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to build a new application, ng image detect. So it is going to create that particular Angular application. If you're wondering about the application that I'm going to build, so this is the application. I will quickly draw and show what I'm going to build. So this is the application you can consider as an Angular application that is going to talk to one of the cloud platform. In this case, it's Azure. So we are going to use one of the Azure service called Cognitive Service in order to detect an image. What are the say you can use an image and then detect who are the persons present in that image. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to build two components here. So one is the home page, and then when you click on an image, you have to go to the detail page. Since we have less time, I'm going to go ahead with one component. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk to this particular service, and then we are going to upload a file and see what is the emotion or what is the age of that particular person in that picture. So that's how simple it is, and it will take few minutes to build that application. So I'm going to say no, and for this because I don't have any routing enabled, and I'm going to go ahead with CSS. So it's going to build that application in quick time. So it will take few minutes to build this application. By that time, I will go and copy the necessary files that I needed. Do you have time? I will take another 5 minutes. Hiranda?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. So the first thing that I did was I installed the Angular CLI latest version, and then using this particular ng new command, I'm building the new application. And then it's going to install those whatever the packages that we have seen in that Angular application I have shown earlier. It is going to take few minutes because it depends on the internet connection as well. Any questions? You can unmute yourselves and ask questions so that we can utilize this time to answer a few questions. Guys?
Yes, I think everyone can ask questions by unmuting your mic since the chat window is not visible currently. All
right. So I have installed the packages. Let me go to the folder. So I have created an Angular application, right? So I am going to open the code with VS Code. It is going to open up the source code in VS Code. Let me pull up that. So as you can see, this is what I explained in the beginning. So it is going to have this configuration files as well as the Angular JSON file. Angular JSON file, this is where you are going to configure the projects, number of projects, so the application that you are going to build. And then you have tsconfig file. This is where you are going to define whatever the configuration related to TypeScript. And this is the core part, which consists of, module, as I mentioned. So module is the main part of the application, and you have the starting component, which is the app component, and then you have whatever the files. So starting with TS file, HTML file, and the CSS file. As the first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building my component file. So I will zoom up a bit in order to see. I'm going to copy paste the code because we don't have much time to build this application from the scratch, but you can obviously build it. Is very simple, right? So I have defined very simple variables in order to take a file and then display those variables. And then this is called the dependency injection. So I am injecting something called HTTP client, which I explained earlier, in order to interact with that Azure API, the Cognitive Service API, as a GET request. And then as you can see, I'm making a GET request here with the key in order to get those details, and then I'm binding that, assigning the response back to the variable. So this is not the best practice to do, but obviously you need to take this part to a service. But in order to get started, you can actually build this. That's not an issue. So this is kind of the basic code that I wanted to explain. And this is how the component TS looks like. And if I go to the main component, I'm going to make few changes here, starting with the template. Again, I'm going to copy paste the code, which is very simple. So I have shown a, one second. So it has the title, getting started with the Angular, and then I'm determining whether image file is present, and then I'm showing that file, and then doing ng if it's uploaded or not. And then this is the directive that I am using in order to check whether file is presented or not. And then I'm using ng4, which is a directive in order to loop over the items and then display those emotions, right? This is very simple. And in order to style the application, I'm going to use the style as well. So I'm going to paste some styles. I'm very bad at styling, so I'm going to paste. So right now we have built this application. Let me run this application and see how it look like. So you can start this application with npm start. It is going to compile your application and produce those files in order to generate with a particular URL with a specific port. In order to if you want to change your port, if you are using that particular port, you can obviously go and change your port in the configuration file. So we are building the application. Let's see how it works. I will take 2 more minutes. I think we are almost done. As you can see, it's getting compiled. I think the internet is very slow because I'm in the sending mode. That's fine. As you can see, I think whatever the platform or the component that we discuss, it's getting executed, and the application is generated, which you can see. Very slow. Okay, 10% successful. All right. So as you can see, the URL is generated, which the application is accessible through this particular URL. Let me navigate to the browser, and if I paste this URL, so I think I missed some of the CSS. Let me go and change. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, something gone wrong. I forgot to save the app component. As you can see, the application is successful. So I'm going to upload image. So as today we have Hiranda as organizer, right? So I have taken a picture of him from his childhood. I think one of his friend provided. So it's Chamod who is the one who provided this pic. So it's going to upload this application, and we can see that results coming in. So I think there is a error. Okay, one of the thing that I missed here is the HTTP module. So you have to import that HTTP module as well. Import, I will directly put it here. Module, yes. All right, I think we should be good. We should not see any errors. Compile successfully, yeah. So let me upload his image. Okay, there is an error. I didn't save the app component, I guess. Yeah, this should be fine. So as you can see, the image is getting uploaded. So you can see the number of faces is 1, and he's smiling. So you can see happiness levels 0.76, and the age is 27. Let me try with a different image. So let me take Donald Trump with his wife. So you can see his wife's age is 35 and his age is 60. So you can build something like cool applications in QuickTime with Angular, and as well as you can make utilize of make use of other services which are out there in form of APIs in order to build applications very quickly. So if you're wondering how to build a COVID tracker, probably you can start building that application after this session with Angular, right? I think I'm done with the session, but if you want to see, I think we have done the demo smoothly. If not, I have to break my laptop. So in your case, if it didn't work out, you have to break your laptop. We have come to the end of the session. So if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. I'm sure that no one would unmute and ask questions, but feel free to ask, guys. So whoever asks question, I'm going to give swags. Okay. There is a person. Are there any questions, or did you get anything out of this session? Yes or no? At least say yes or no.
Yes, of course. Yes, I think Sajidharan have many cool stuff with him. So ask a question and grab something. Even we can't easily get those.
Okay. Any questions, guys? I think we are running out of time. All right. So I think we have come to the end of the session. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me on Twitter or Facebook or any of those communities. I'm always there, and you can join Stack Overflow Sri Lanka and start posting those memes with your friends with any programming languages, and start to volunteer in conference. And then in order to access these slides, it's available in public, so you can access this slide. And then demo version I have already published on GitHub. And if you have been sleeping so far, wake up. We have a session from Prabhat, which is very interesting. And thanks, guys, for providing me the opportunity. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we are there to help you guys. Thanks for being nice, audience. And yeah, let's meet in another session. Thank you very much. Okay. I think you are muted.
I think you are muted.
Sorry about that. So thank you very much, Mr. Sajidharan, for that wonderful session. So just one last time before we hand over to Mr. Prabhat, do you all have any questions? You are free to unmute your microphones and ask anything from him, even anything apart from the session he did, anything related to
Yes,
IT.
he is a MVP, former MVP, and he has a lot of titles on his name. So ask anything about those. He's a Azure expert, I think, also.
Everyone is shy.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a question about the string interpolation and property binding. I am following some code which is writing in the Angular. So they are use string interpolation as property binding. Which is the better way to use?
You are talking about the data binding, is it?
Yeah.
So if you are binding any dynamic data, I would go ahead with string manipulation. I mean, if you are doing any data that needs to be rendered in the view, then you need to use the data binding. But we have different ways to build those. It has both pros and cons, but if you want to know, probably we can discuss. So it depends on the data that you're binding, and also it depends on the rendering mechanisms that you have. I hope.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Yes, any other questions? Just before winding up Mr. Sajidharan's session and handing over it to Mr. Prabhat. Okay, I think that's it. So thank you very much, Mr. Sajidharan, for that wonderful session.